Welcome to the Alpha Girl Confidence Podcast, where we are empowering youth female athletes to play and live confidently. My name is Shay and each week I will bring you new episodes to teach you the strategies and tools that you need in order to live a confident, empowered life both on and off the playing field. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the show. So I've been getting a lot of messages recently on Instagram and Facebook from players that have gotten injured. So some of it's big injuries, ACLs, some of it's these smaller injuries where they're just out for a couple weeks. But if you're new here listening to the podcast, you may not know my injury story. If you've been listening for a while, you probably know, or if you've read my book, you probably know a bit about my injury story, right? So growing up, I was really confident before I got injured. I got injured when I was 12, had surgery on my ACL and meniscus when I was 13 and was out for, 9+ months. So that was really when my confidence issues started, when I started to feel like I wasn't good enough. I started to kind of lose my identity, and we'll get into that a little bit. But I really struggled, and it was like a confidence roller coaster from that moment on for the majority of my career. And I know there's a lot of players out there who, have this similar experience where they're doing great, and then all of a sudden an injury kind of knocks them off and really makes it hard for you to become confident or to regain that confidence after sitting out for so long. So today, and if you're not going through an injury right now, I want you to share this episode. I'm sure there's a teammate out there who could benefit, or a friend who is maybe going through an injury. And later down the road, I hope that you stay healthy throughout your career, but there's very likely going to be a time where you get injured and you have to kind of navigate the mental side of the injury process. So today I want to kind of talk about the injury process and what you can do to maintain and even build confidence while you're out, while you're not able to train and do stuff physically. So again, for me, I want to go hit on the identity piece again, because for me, my whole life, I identified myself as a soccer player, as a basketball player. It was part of who I was. And so when I got injured, it was really hard for me because I no longer could do that thing that I thought that I was. And it wasn't until way down the road that I realized that my sport wasn't who I was, but it was what I did, right? So that's the first thing I want you, whether you're injured or not, is you have to realize that you are much more than your sport. Because if your identity is completely wrapped up in your sport and you do get injured or something happens and you're not able to play anymore, you're going to go through an identity crisis. You're going to have a hard time figuring out, who are you? Who am I without my sport? So that's something that I honestly think, whether you're going through an injury or not, that I think every athlete should go through. Because when you're done playing your sport at one point or another, it's something that we all have to go through. So figure out your identity outside of your sport. If you're currently injured, figure out, who am I? Okay. Put sports aside. Who are you as a person? Okay. So that's kind of the first piece, is figuring out your identity. And then the other thing, as far as building confidence goes, is to build a support team around you. So for me, growing up, I had my physical therapist, I had my teammates and that, but I didn't really have a mentor, or I didn't really have anyone to kind of guide me and support me and show me how to be injured. I didn't have someone to kind of, help me through that process, specifically with the injury. And I think that having a mentor, whether it's a parent or a teammate or whoever, someone that's been through that before, it's so valuable if you can find someone to support you and help you through the process that you're currently going through, that they've already been through. So find someone who can support you in that role, because it's very, very important, not only mentally to help you kind of navigate that, but also physically helping you to get back to where you need to be physically. All right. And then the next really big piece, which I wish I would have learned back when I was injured, but the power of visualization. So as an injured player, you're not able to physically go out there. You're not able to physically practice and get better that way. But visualization, wow, that's a hard word to say sometimes. Visualization is so powerful. It's such an awesome tool that every injured player needs to start doing. Every active player needs to start doing. But specifically, it can help you with injury. So there was a study done with basketball players that talked about, you know, the improvement of free throw shooting. Okay, so one group, they practiced free throw shooting for 2 weeks. They were trying to measure the improvement over a 2-week period. So one group practiced for 2 weeks. One group didn't touch a basketball. They didn't do anything. Okay. And then the third group, they didn't touch a basketball, but they visualized free throw shooting. So after those 2 weeks, they looked at the results and it was kind of crazy. So the group that practiced, they improved by 24%. Okay. They improved 24% over a 2-week period. The group that didn't practice, they didn't visualize, they didn't improve at all, obviously. And the group that didn't practice, but they visualized, they improved 23%. So they improved almost as much as the group that was actually practicing. So what does that tell you with the injury, right? That tells you that even though you cannot physically go practice, if you visualize, number one, it's going to help you mentally to keep you plugged in. But number two, it actually can help you to improve your skill without actually doing the skill. Okay, there's other podcasts I have about visualization. I'm not going to get into specifically how to do it. You can learn more about it in my book and other podcasts and such, but make visualization a priority. Make it a part of your morning routine or an evening routine, or instead of going to practice, you're visualizing it. Okay, I promise you that's going to be a game changer for you. And then the other thing, and this kind of goes back to the identity thing, is to find things or find new hobbies that you can learn and gain confidence in that's outside of your sport. Okay. And this will help you to kind of grow an identity outside of your sport, but also it'll help you to grow confidence and to kind of develop a purpose. So a lot of us, when we get injured, like our purpose is our sport. And so when we lose that, it's really hard to find a purpose, and it could get really hard to feel fulfilled. So try to find something, whether it's a new hobby or a new skill that you want to learn, so that you can continue to have a purpose, so that you can continue to learn, and so that you can grow confidence in an area outside of your sport, which is going to be huge. Okay. And then the last thing I'll say with building confidence during the injury process and as you're stepping back onto the field is that you have to trust the process and you have to trust your body. The process of injury, it's so different for anyone. So don't ever compare your process to anyone else's process. We all have such different bodies. And so one player may recover a lot faster and be able to play a lot sooner than you, and vice versa. So you have to know that your doctors and your therapists and your team is only going to allow you to play when your body is ready. Because a lot of players, me included, when you step back onto the field, you worry, oh no, am I going to get injured again? Am I ready? Am I physically where I need to be to play again? If you have a good team around you, you have good surgeons, you have good doctors, you have good physical therapists, you have mentors around you, then they will not put you on the field until you're ready. So you have to build a team first, but then you have to trust that process. You have to trust that when you step back on the field, that your body is strong. And if you're doing all the things you should be doing, all your physical therapy, you should be in a spot where your body is ready to rock and roll. But the problem is that our mind stops us even when our body is ready. So that's why you have to do all those things I already mentioned in order to keep your mind strong, and not just keep it strong, but make it stronger than it was before. It's absolutely possible for you to be more mentally strong, mentally resilient, and confident than you were before when you're injured. But you have to do the work. It doesn't just happen. You have to visualize, you have to do the journaling, you have to do all of the little daily practices that I talk about on the podcast and in my book. It's not just going to happen. Okay, so you have to trust the process, and don't ever compare your process to somebody else's process because you're totally different. Your paths are different. You're different people. All right. So again, if you need extra help with this, if you're going through the injury process, I know it's hard. If you don't have mentors to help you, I am here to help you. I am here to help you and support you and mentor you through this process. So if you're currently going through this and you don't have people by your side to help you through it, please reach out to me. You can send me a message on Instagram at Shay Haddo. You can text me. You can email me at shay@alphagirlconfidence.com. And also, this would be an excellent time for you to join our daily confidence text membership. So every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I send out confidence tips and motivation strategies. So this would be an awesome way for you to grow your mental game, for you to improve your confidence and improve your mindset while you can't physically play. So again, if you want to learn more about that, we'll post a link in the show notes so that you can join our text membership. It's only $4.99 a month, less than a Starbucks drink. So yeah, join us inside of there. It's really cool. I think that could be a really great tool for you to continue to improve and grow during the injury process. So I hope this episode helped you. If it did, let me know. And always, I'm here to help. So don't hesitate to reach out. All right, I'll see you next week.